He was a 70-year-old retiree who printed what might be the worst fake money in history, right from his kitchen. The bills were so laughably bad that George Washington's portrait looked murky and ghoulish, and the paper felt like something from a cheap notepad. One version even misspelled his name as Wahsington, and yet this unassuming grandfather managed to lead the United States Secret Service on a wild goose chase for an entire decade, sparking one of the most expensive manhunts in the agency's history. So, how did a man with a simple printer and terrible art skills outsmart the nation's top investigators for 10 years? This is the unbelievable story of Mr. 880. At Section 1, The Ordinary World. Let's rewind to 1938. In a quiet corner of New York City, you'd find Emerich Juettner, a 70-year-old Austrian immigrant. For most of his life, he'd been a building superintendent, living a simple and honest life. But after his wife passed away, Juettner found himself old, alone, and broke. He wasn't running a criminal cartel. He was just a regular guy trying to support himself and his beloved dog, Toby. Facing extreme poverty during the Great Depression era, he turned to an odd combination of old skills, a basic knowledge of engraving, and a hobbyist's knack for photography. He didn't want to be rich, he just wanted to survive. Section 2. The Plan in Motion. Juettner's master plan was almost comically simple. In his kitchen, he photographed a real $1 bill, used acid to etch its image onto zinc plates, and started printing fakes on a small hand press. The results were, to put it mildly, terrible. The details were fuzzy, the serial numbers didn't line up, and Washington's face was a blotchy mess. In fact, Secret Service agents later admitted the bills were so bad, they thought it had to be a joke. No self-respecting professional would ever bother faking a $1 bill, and they certainly wouldn't do it this poorly. But Juettner wasn't a professional. He was just a desperate man with a printing press. Section 3. The decade-long manhunt. It didn't take long for the first fake bill to show up at a cigar shop in Manhattan. When it landed on a desk at the Secret Service, the agents were completely stumped. They opened case file number 880, and the hunt for Mr. 880 was officially on. For 10 long years, this phantom eluded them, leading to the agency's most expensive and sprawling manhunt to date. In their New York office, they set up a massive map overtaken by red tacks marking every spot a bill was found. They plastered 200,000 warning flyers in 10,000 stores, hoping a clerk would finally catch him. But every lead just vanished. The trail of bad $1 bills stretched on for a decade, and the agents grew increasingly frustrated by their invisible target. Section 4. The Power of Simplicity. So how in the world did he get away with it for so long? The secret wasn't the quality of his fakes. It was his extreme caution. He was never greedy. He'd pass maybe $15 a week, just enough to buy food for himself and Toby. Most importantly, he never spent a fake bill in the same place twice. One day it was a subway station, the next it was a local bakery. He understood a simple truth about human nature. Nobody really looks closely at a $1 bill. By passing single, low-value bills in busy, random places, he made himself impossible to track. His method was the exact opposite of the professional criminals the Secret Service was trained to catch. Section 5. The Takedown and Aftermath. Juettner's downfall wasn't some brilliant piece of detective work. It was just pure bad luck. In 1948, a fire broke out in his apartment building. While cleaning up the mess, he tossed his printing plates into the trash. Weeks later, some neighborhood kids found the plates while playing. Thinking they were toys, they started using the funny money in their poker games. Eventually, a parent saw a bill, realized something was wrong, and turned it in. When agents finally knocked on Juettner's door, they found a friendly, 73-year-old man who casually admitted to everything. Because of his age and the small amount of money involved, he was sentenced to just 1 year and a $1 fine. Conclusion and CTA. In the ultimate twist, Emerich Juettner's story was sold to Hollywood and made into the 1950 film Mr. 880. He earned more money from the movie rights than he ever did from 10 years of making his own. The story of history's worst counterfeiter shows us that sometimes the biggest impact comes from the quiet, unassuming places no one ever thinks to look. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most unlikely masterminds, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to The Debt Ledger for more incredible financial documentaries. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.